Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that's, not just about grammar rules. It's really about making our conversations feel better and our connections with people just a little bit stronger.
I think we've all been there, right? You're just trying to say what you mean, but then you walk away thinking, did that come out wrong? Did I sound a bit too harsh? It's such a common worry. So that's exactly what we're going to tackle. By the end of this, you're going to have some really simple, practical tools to help you say what you mean, but with kindness and most importantly, with a ton of confidence. We'll kick things off with why being polite is such a big deal. Then we'll get into the good stuff, how to ask for things, how to handle tricky conversations, deal with those little social bumps, and even how to say no without feeling bad about it. Okay, first things first, let's really get into this idea. Why is it so important in English to sometimes be a little less direct? I just love this quote. It really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Being polite costs you absolutely nothing, but what you get back is huge. It builds trust and makes people feel comfortable around you. And the secret ingredient to all of this? It's a little something we call softeners. These are like the magic words that cushion your sentences. The whole point isn't to be confusing. It's just to make sure you don't accidentally sound like you're giving orders. Just look at the difference in feeling here. This isn't good is like slamming a door shut. It's final. But when you say, I think this could be improved, you're opening that door. You're turning a criticism into a suggestion, and that invites people to work with you. All right, so let's get practical and see how we can use these softeners when we need to ask for something. See this? Send me the report. Feels like an order, a demand. But just by adding could you, you've completely changed it. You've turned a command into a respectful question, and that simple change makes all the difference. And it's the same thing here. I want can sound a little demanding, almost like a little kid. But swapping it for I would like, well, that's just a simple, classy way to say the exact same thing, but much more politely. Oh, this one is a real game changer. I was wondering if you had a moment to help me. It feels so much gentler than just help me. It's like you're gently testing the waters, which makes people feel much more open to helping out. Okay, now for the tricky stuff. How do you tell someone you don't agree or you have to give them some bad news without making them upset? It's all about being a little diplomatic. Let's just break this down. If you say you're wrong, what happens? The other person immediately gets defensive. But if you say, I think you might be mistaken, you're softening it. You're saying it's a possibility, not a hard fact, and that makes it so much easier for them to actually hear you. This one is perfect for meetings or brainstorming sessions. Instead of just shooting down an idea, this phrase shows you're thinking about it, but you have some concerns. It keeps the conversation positive and collaborative. All right, let's talk about those little everyday interactions, when you need to get someone's attention or you accidentally step on their foot. Think of these phrases as your little toolkit for interrupting politely. They're basically a signal that says, hey, I know you're busy and I respect your time. That last one, do you have a moment, is great because it gives them an easy out if they're in the middle of something. And it's also about knowing the right tool for the job. If you just lightly bump into someone, a quick pardon me is all you need. If you didn't hear something, a questioning pardon me works perfectly. For a real, heartfelt apology, I'm sorry is the way to go. And in a work situation, I apologize for the oversight shows you're taking it seriously. Saying no can feel so awkward, can it? We worry about hurting someone's feelings. But trust me, there are ways to do it gracefully. This is such a useful phrase. When you say, I'm afraid I can't come, you're not actually scared. All it means is, I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's a wonderful little cushion that softens the bad news. And this strategy is just brilliant because you start on a high note. Saying I would love to shows that you appreciate the offer. The but just gently lets them know that a no is coming. Something like, I'd love to, but I have an early start tomorrow. It's honest, it's kind, and it works. So, if you remember anything, remember this. Politeness in English is really a strategy. It's about turning demands into questions, turning harsh facts into gentle opinions, and using those little cushion words to make everything go down a bit easier. It's all about showing respect. So I'll leave you with this question. Which one of these phrases are you going to try out today? Just pick one. It could be I was wondering if or I'm afraid blank. Give it a go and I promise you'll start to see how much smoother and more positive your conversations can be. Thanks, guys.